Taiwan advances to WBC. Hsinchu baseball field uncovers construction waste. Taiwan-Penghu cable cut by ship's anchor. China's Xi stresses strength of Russia ties in Putin call. Macron and Trump discuss Ukraine peace prospects. Japan marks Emperor Naruhito's 65th birthday. Apple commits to $500 billion U.S. investment. Amazon takes control of James Bond movie franchise.
Hello, I'm Wade Lee. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. It is Wednesday, February 26th, Carnival Day, and here are your top stories. And for today's Taiwan's news, Taiwan secured its spot in the World Baseball Classic by defeating Spain in the qualifiers. This marks Taiwan's sixth consecutive qualification since the tournament's inception in 2006. The key moment came in the sixth inning when Spain's third baseman Wander Encarnacio made two consecutive throwing errors, gifting Taiwan 2 runs. Overcome with pressure, he was seen crying afterwards. Recent excavation at Hsinchu baseball field revealed large amounts of concrete debris, plastic, scrap wires, and bricks. The Hsinchu District Prosecutor's Office is investigating the matter. Former Mayor Lin Zijian faced online pressure, with many calling for his action. At 3:03 a.m. on the 25th, Zonghua Telecom reported a full disruption of the Taiwan-Penghu No. 3 submarine cable, 14.7 kilometers off Tainan. Investigations revealed that a Tongolese flag cargo ship, Hongtai, dropped anchor nearby, leading to the cable damage. The ship and its 8 Chinese crew members were detained for further investigation. And in global news, Chinese leader Xi Jinping told his counterpart Vladimir Putin on Monday that China and Russia cannot be moved away from one another in their first phone call since U.S. President Donald Trump upended American foreign policy with a sweeping pivot towards Moscow as he pushed for peace in Ukraine. The call, which took place as Kyiv marks the third anniversary of Russia's brutal invasion, sends a clear message from Beijing that its relations with its key diplomatic partner will not be shaken by Washington's warming ties with the Kremlin.
The highly anticipated call between the close partners comes as Moscow's position on the international stage has undergone a significant transformation in recent weeks, as Trump is seeking to bring Putin on board in his push to end the fighting in Ukraine in a significant shift of American policy. Top Trump administration officials met Russian counterparts in Saudi Arabia last week after signaling they might cede to some of Moscow's key demands, raising concerns that peace would be brokered over the heads of Kyiv and its European partners. Trump has also echoed Kremlin rhetoric about the war and strongly criticized Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky.
French President Emmanuel Macron said any peace deal in Ukraine must come with security guarantees as he met with U.S. President Donald Trump at the White House for talks on the war. He said this peace must not be a surrender of Ukraine. It must not mean a ceasefire without guarantee, as the two leaders held a joint news conference following their meeting on Monday. Trump, who did not mention security guarantees himself, said the cost and burden of securing peace in Ukraine must be paid by European nations and not just the U.S.
Macron responded that Europe understood the need to more fairly share the security burden, and added that talks on the third anniversary of Russia's invasion had shown a path forward. While the pair exchanged warm words throughout the meeting, some clear differences emerged on the issue of ending the war in Ukraine as they spoke to reporters in the Oval Office and then held a 40-minute news conference shortly after. The topic of including security guarantees in any peace deal was one area of difference, as were the potential next steps. Trump said he wanted a ceasefire as soon as possible, adding that he would visit Russia to meet President Vladimir Putin once one was agreed.
Japan's Emperor Naruhito, marking his 65th birthday Sunday, stressed the importance of telling the tragedy of World War II to younger generations, pledging to contribute to efforts to promote the understanding of history and the determination for peace as the world this year observed the 80th anniversary of the war's end. Naruhito said that those who went through the ordeal during and after the war have grown older, and it is difficult for younger generations to hear their first-hand stories.
寒さの厳しい中、誕生日にこのように来ていただき、祝っていただくことをありがたく思います。
Naruhito, accompanied by his wife, Empress Masako, their daughter, Princess Aiko, and some of his younger brother's family, waved from the palace balcony at the cheering well-wishers. Later Sunday, he was to celebrate his birthday at a palace banquet. The war was fought in the name of his grandfather, then Emperor Hirohito. Naruhito said he and Masako, who were born after the war, have learned from his parents by hearing their stories of wartime experiences and thoughts about peace. His father, Akihito, who abdicated in 2019, was known for his devotion to making amends for the war, and Naruhito said he will follow his example.
Apple plans to invest more than $500 billion in the U.S. over the next 4 years, starting with a new advanced manufacturing factory in Texas. The tech giant said it expected to create 20,000 new jobs over that time, with the vast majority of roles in research and development, software, and artificial intelligence. It is not clear to what extent the spending is an acceleration of the company's current activities. Apple said the sum included everything from spending on suppliers to Apple TV Plus productions.
The announcement comes days after Apple boss Tim Cook met with President Donald Trump, who has made increased corporate investment in the U.S. a priority. In its announcement, Apple said its investment was its largest ever spend commitment and would expand its support for American manufacturing. Cook said, "We are bullish on the future of American innovation." The company said the new 250,000 square foot factory in Houston, Texas, is set to produce servers that were previously manufactured outside the U.S. to support Apple Intelligence, the company's AI system. The iPhone maker added it would open in 2026 and create thousands of jobs.
Amazon MGM Studios, the tech giant's film unit, plans to take creative control of the James Bond series under a new deal with the franchise longtime producer Michael G. Wilson and Barbara Broccoli. In a news release, the business partners said the deal would result in a new joint venture to house the James Bond intellectual property rights, and those parties will remain co-owners of the franchise. When the transaction is closed, Amazon MGM Studios will gain creative control of the James Bond franchise.
Amazon acquired MGM in 2022, taking over a sprawling library that includes more than 4,000 feature films and 17,000 television shows. The tech behemoth also earned the rights to distribute all the Bond movies, but the new deal solidifies the company's oversight of 07's big-screen future. The future of the Bond film series has been in question since the 2021 theatrical release of No Time to Die, the movie that marked Daniel Craig's fifth and final outing as the suave 007. In the joint venture announcement, Amazon MGM Studios did not reveal any details about the franchise's next installment. In a post on X shortly after the deal was announced, Bezos gave fans a chance to weigh in on the next person to put on the tuxedo.
The answer for yesterday was C, populous. Tokyo is one of the most populous cities in the world. Did you answer correctly? Now let's delve into today's news. Japan marks Emperor Naruhito's 65th birthday. Number 1, ordeal, 考验, 苦难. The hikers went through a real ordeal when they got lost in the storm. Number 2, pledge, 誓言, 承诺. He made a pledge to support the charity for a year. Number 3, banquet, 宴会. They hosted a grand banquet to celebrate the company's anniversary. Next, we have a multiple choice question for everyone to practice. You can write your answer in the comments section, and the correct answer will be announced tomorrow. Carnival Day bursts with life, splashed with vibrant colors and the sounds of merriment. Each year on this day, communities come together to break free from the winter's grip, diving into a sea of parades, music, and laughter. This day invites everyone to indulge in fun and food, offering a perfect season to party and build into some communal joy. And that's all for today's Funday news. Be sure to tune into Funday News from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join Funday for free. I'm Wei Li, your host. I'll see you next time.